Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. My name is Jessica. This is Jay Gilly, Psychic Medium Tarot. You may book a personal reading at any time at jgilly.com. That's JGILLY.com. Like, subscribe, share. It really helps out the channel. I'm pretty sure I'm getting shadow banned just for the content and titles and information I'm sharing out there. So I guess we are doing something right. Let me know. Make sure you can hear me, guys. Can y'all hear me? Hi, Diana Stewart. Okay, perfect. All righty. So it is a beautiful day today down in the South. I have been kind of quite literally shedding old skin. Like, I don't know what it is, but the dead skin that I've been sloughing off lately, I'm here for it. It's like almost like my skin is regenerating. I'm like brushing in the shower, and I think as we come up to the end of this Mercury retrograde, it's like we are literally shedding the past, the old systems, how things were done, the belief systems and how they operated in institutions, in our family units. It is all shedding right now. The illusions are shedding from our history. And you're going to see the actual embodiment of that in the physical 3D, which is kind of interesting. And it's almost kind of like being in your own Black Mirror episode, in my opinion. It's like everything is touching ground and getting grounded in the physical realm spiritually. So anything from the 5D is getting worked in directly into the physical realm right now. So important to purge self-limiting beliefs, limitations, that kind of thing. Get out in the sunshine, ground, touch grass with your feet, hands, touch trees, get those negative ions back. And for me, fasting has been a direct line to the spirit realm. I mean, I'm on my second day. I felt guided to fast for 3.5 days. Why 3.5 days? Well, I stumbled upon this video about, like, it's called time and times half, time and a half. And there's some significance to 3.5 days and fasting, apparently. So I was like, oh, I just stumbled upon it. It resonated. And it's really, I mean, like I said, it has rejuvenated me. It's almost like made my receiver to the spirit realm just that much stronger. I feel energized. I feel lighter. I've also cut out caffeine. Don't talk to me in the morning. I'm a nightmare still, but we're working out the kinks. So letting go of old addictions, attachments that you have, so important right now. Literally detoxing the parasites of our past, both metaphorically and physically. And if you can kind of chip away at both sides of the coin and give yourself, if you fall off the wagon and you get back on, and the more that you identify with higher frequencies and you inch your way little by little, you start to see you've moved yourself a mile. So whatever you can do day by day to raise your frequency in this time before the 8/8 portal, you will set yourself up for success energetically. There's going to be a huge, grand, great awakening, a grand rising, so to speak, is what I heard just now, of the human conscious collective. We are craving refreshed, renewed energy of truth, in my opinion. And there's no room for hate. Only room for speculation, sound, healthy debate. 1 second. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. I'm going to make sure I've charged it right before. So I don't know. We'll see. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So what was the last thing you heard? Type it in the comments. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Woo! This is not as great of a mic, but we'll make do. Yeah, I was talking about Elon. I was talking about how it's kind of prophesized that he is kind of like from the book of Enoch, and what I personally believe is that he was a slave worker from Mars that escaped and has this evil plan with AI to come and use AI not for the greatest good of humanity, and kind of be part of this evil takeover. And deletes are all fighting for power, all the different bloodlines, and it's almost like he wants to come in, and this is all allegedly, but this, if you know, you know. So if that doesn't resonate with you, totally fine. I know if you're spiritually not awakened yet, that's going to sound like completely out of left field and like sci-fi. But I don't feel that Neuralink is the best for humanity. I think that it is the mark of the beast that the Bible warns against. And I also feel that we are not bound and entirely self-limited to the zodiac system and our astrological placements at birth. So that was what I was saying in a nutshell. Hopefully, hopefully that message got through that time. And yes, the song, thank you for reminding me, Martha. The song that I woke up with was Mr. Postman
Charlie likes to come with morning songs to wake me up. And he came with Mr. Postman by I think it's Mal-to-Do Way or Well-to-Do Way, something like that. But it's a really great song. And I woke up with this feeling of I keep just checking to make sure my audio is working. Okay. I woke up with this feeling that there was a big sign of evidence in this case with Charlie about rerouting mail for some reason. Maybe this was TP USA mail. I also got that the name Jack. So for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I felt like the last name was Turek, like this was a family member, or I don't know. I just got a feeling about, he said Jack, no last name. And then right before I came on the live, I got this feeling of like Turek, and I don't know. We'll go down the rabbit hole and look something up together, and look into the cards. Then I don't know if y'all heard this part either, but I was just like laughing this morning when I wake, like I've designated my time to talk to spirit. Oh, Jack Hibbs. Okay, interesting. Don't know who that is. Him and Frank Turek do podcasts together. Oh, okay. Well, I think CK was coming in talking a little ish about Jack. There wasn't some good vibes coming from the way he said Jack. He was like, it's Jack. Anyway, okay. So the funny story today is I found my higher self like lucidly interacting with Charlie Kirk. And I remember telling Charlie Kirk, just like for funsies, I guess, I was like, you know what? You kind of look like the baby Gerber, the baby on the Gerber label. You look like him grown up. And he was like, he looked at me and kind of laughed and was like, hey, you're kind of right. He has like the same hair. So anyway, can y'all still hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay. Whew. I got a text message that said, dude. So it scared me. Okay. So yeah. So I told him in my sleep that he looked like the Gerber baby all grown up. So profound, right? So anyway, there were a few other things, but I'm a little bit frazzled now with all these sound issues. They're coming for me. This is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. If you know, you know. Okay. I think I heard somewhere that Jack Hibbs is the one who delivered the mic to Charlie, or he had it in his pocket. Okay. Also, you know, everything happens for a reason. The fact that I'm wearing this mic now. Okay. So this morning, this is the download I got. Well, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, actually. But, you know, I was talking about magnets. He kept coming in talking about how neodymium magnets will nullify RFID chips. And he immediately showed me how his mic was turned backwards. That was intentional for whatever explosion they had remotely connected to those little drone things I saw planted in the earth or the dirt or whatever they had paved a couple days later. It was intentional. The magnetic backing flipped inside out. That was intentional. And there was something morphed, manipulated in the field, the biofield of both the audience watching Charlie Kirk on stage, as well as Charlie Kirk. So there's that. And I think that piece of cloth that was in the car, it looks like a Tahoe type of car to me, or Denali, like SUV, like, you know, you typically like watch like presidents, like, I don't know, go to a fancy event in, or the Secret Service. It looks like that. And it felt like I could see tinted windows for sure, which no surprise there. But I think probably that burnt piece of bloody t-shirt was exactly where the magnetic backing was on Charlie's shirt. Now, there's something with magnets and the explosions connected to very small microscopic like drones that look like little dragonflies to me, or little like parasites. I don't know, flying mechanical parasites. Okay. That's what I saw. And whenever I get a vision, I stick to that. And that like helps me go down the rabbit hole. Like I'll connect the dots logically later. So I didn't understand anything about the neodymium magnets, and I just like trusted it and didn't understand the whole matrixy like drone things and the stakes in the grass. And he connected it all together with the inside out mic, the magnetic portion of the mic. I'd be interested to know and to look up, we can do that together as well, what kind of magnet is on the back of a Rode mic and how that would connect to a remote control explosive. Or yeah, so there's that. That's very interesting. And also remember, there was a strong feeling of coldness, like almost antifreeze and glass traveling up my veins. So I'm seeing the color green, like lime green, almost like what you would see in a leveler, like that bright green, that liquid. So let's look that up real quick. What chemical is in It's okay. It says if you mean the liquid inside a spirit level tool bubble level, it is typically ethanol or isopropanol, colored alcohol mixed with a dye like fluorescent. If you mean a self-leveling fluor compound, it is a dry powder mix of Portland cement, fine sand, and polymers like vinyl acetate that you mix with water. Okay, interesting. I don't know, maybe there's something that reacts with the magnet. I don't know, but I'm seeing a green substance, lime green substance that's like, looks like the consistency of what would be in a bubble leveler. I also just heard wild Mike, like as in a person. So I don't know what that means. And then I heard when he was explaining about the mic and the magnet, I heard him say that this is allegedly, this is for entertainment purposes only, but I heard him say that Ben Shapiro was on the phone in the car to call it. When to, yeah, that was an interesting noise that I just made. So yeah, so there's obviously a lot of people that are involved, and that could be heavily intertwined in this, pulling this off. But when he blames the person at the top, it is Phoebe, allegedly. The next person in chain of command, I feel, is Ben Shapiro, who was on this side of the pond, surveillancing things, the timing of it all, and then calling the next chain of the next commanders or people in the chain of command to follow out his orders. So there's that. Okay, let's see. That's Jack's brother, Butch. He was at the scene that day. Okay, light of truth, maybe specify. I forget what I was talking about, so I don't know what I was. I can't believe Ben admitted his team was on the phone with Charlie's security in the car that day. Yeah, especially because don't they not like each other, supposedly, allegedly? Is the judge in Tyler Robinson's case aware with the TPUSA media manipulation that was done after the preliminary hearing? I'm getting like all around no's. However, I'd be interested to know if he's connected to, if he's a Freemason, because that is going to heavily influence the verdict. Because as you know, Freemasons can't find other Freemasons in the court of law guilty. So, but I do see there's an element of stardom and investment here. So I feel like he's kind of a chess piece in this media game. I think he's been more open with media than most judges would. And he's trying to be extremely fair. But it's all a stage. You know, look at the footage, all the rooftop footage. Have you ever in your life seen so many blue and red cars in one parking lot? I mean, come on, it's programming. Just like the colored, everything is going to be symbolically shown to you. Just like in the garage, when Tyler was walking out of the garage from parking and the shadow of light that came through was in the exact shape of the country little hats, right? So you have to be able to have a spiritual eye with these things, and you have to be able to see beyond the veil. So yes, the judge is playing a role in this as well. Although I feel like from where he's standing, I think he is trying his best to not be manipulated by media. But I do think he is not fully aware. He's trying to remain, as a good judge would, neutral. But there is some spotlight here and some payout or some type of notoriety he's invested in with this. It's also suspicious that he wears a blue tie most of the time. Oh, and that reminds me. Okay, so last live, someone said Erica Kirk I said something about like her, I was getting a vision about a stylist that was styling. She was focused on what she was wearing, and the stylist was like very intentionally picking out her outfits. One of the people in the chat said she was wearing all black today. Well, she actually was wearing a white collar and black. The rest was black. And I was like, oh my God, this mofo knows exactly what she's doing. Because the occult, if you ever notice, like deacons and bishops, they will wear white over top and then black underneath in their robe, sometimes priests as well. This is a form of spiritual protection. When you're high up in the demon hierarchy, and then she had sunglasses on to protect her eyes and the entity that has taken full possession. So I was like, oh, the joke's on her because she's wearing all black. So she's absorbing everybody's emotions, which is not the greatest when you're trying to, it is great to do when you want to mirror, when you don't know how to be empathetic, when you want to mirror someone's emotions. But when you're authentically an empath, you don't want to wear black because you're always absorbing the energies of everybody else's emotions. So that's why I said when you'll want to wear white. When you wear them together, that's how you know she's intentionally working with the dark energy and the dark forces. So it told me everything I needed to know right there. Yeah. And the white collar is to protect her throat chakra so she can still talk with authority of the demon that's working through her throat. You know, demons come through the left side of the cervical spine and attach there. So so the stylist as well knew exactly what they were doing. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, hell to the no. I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Yeah. Total complete stage. It's so bad. I know. That whole area of Utah is corrupt, including the judge, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, there's a big following of Mormons. No judgment. I mean, listen, the corruption penetrates everything. The Mormons, the Catholics, the Jews, everybody. Okay. So you will find some star seeds, some high vibrational people that want to flip to the light and wake up and realize what they're being part of. But there's always the same playbook that these people follow. There's staged accidents that create a divide, an emotional divide that harness and harvest your energy and loosh. There's always hidden symbolism in plain sight. It tells you exactly what they're doing, but you will constantly question yourself because they're sitting in your face saying, no, do as I say, not as I do. It's a trance. The Mockingbird News is a trance. And this is all to cover up the transport of children, in my opinion, allegedly. And that's the big thing I think Charlie Kirk wants to kind of drill to home constantly, is that his life wasn't taken in vain, that there will be a great awakening, understanding that CPS, social services, and the grand network that follows a snake geographical pattern of child transport throughout the United States and all around into the other countries, that they're all in on it. They're all in on it. So it's about the children, saving the children, releasing the children. Okay, I keep getting that Ben Shapiro did a video called To Witness. CK last moment as a last. Did he see it video? You're correct. He did. I got 2 yeses. That's crazy. Does EK shape shift? No, but you can see it in the eyes. There's a little bit of a reptilian shift in the eyes, hence the sunglasses all the time. Do you feel like they slipped up worse this time around pulling off this? Or do you feel like people are more awake now than ever? I feel like it's both. I feel that the intuition and the ascension of humanity, like in 2020, that's what kicked it off. We realize now the jab didn't do us any favors. The isolating, the restricting, the God force our ability to breathe in consciousness, light, and photons and all that good stuff, we're a little bit more skeptical now. Like, shame on me for believing that, right? So I think round 2, we are a little bit more intuitive. We are listening without logic this time. And we understand that there's an agenda here that's far more nefarious than we would like to admit to ourselves. And we're all collectively taking our head out of the sand and starting to look at ourselves and look at like the facts, like connecting the dots. So, and that's just because of the Schumann resonance. That's because of our planet is actually graduating into a 5D dimensional realm. That's where Earth is meant to be. It's not meant to be 3-dimensional frequency, but the reptilians have kept it there. And so if you zoom out and you look at Earth as like a celestial being, an eye or a cell, we are evolving to a higher, more sophisticated organism. We're jumping timelines and we're working together. It's kind of like this bad virus has come in and the immune system is fighting to get back into equilibrium and homeostasis and eat off all the bad bacteria and all the muck. It's an inflammatory response. That's what we're going through right now. The immune system is directly connected to spirituality. And that's why autoimmunity is on the rise right now and such under attack. Because self-love is under attack. That's what the deletes want us to stay in a state of fear, in a state of limitations. And so, yeah, so that's why we're going through a huge root chakra purge, changing, shifting, cleansing, so we can provide and protect ourselves. We don't rely on the deletes. We don't rely on their systems. They're collapsing. And yeah, so people are more awake now more than ever. But I think Blake Neff and Ben Shapiro and Andrew Colvett and Erica are not making it like any easier to pull off. I mean, my goodness, it's cringe. It's kind of like, oh, like poor thing. Oh, that's there to live forever. Like they actively know that they're trying to spin it and save their reputations, and it's just not landing. It's not hitting. Complete fail. Yes, cringe. QQQ. Another remote viewer on YouTube said that Erica shapeshifted to a reptilian the morning of his last day alive on Earth. Is this true? I'm getting a no. But hey, I'm open to whatever other remote viewers pick up on. For me, I don't think that I think when you are allowed to shapeshift, that's like royal blood type stuff. That's like the royals. I think she's very, very handled. I don't think whatever money she has that's been handed to her can be taken away in the blink of an eye. That's not real wealth, in my opinion. The real shapeshifters you're never going to hear about it. You're going to never know them. The deep state and the shadow government, you don't know who that is for a reason. The people that really own the wealth, you're not going to know their face, and that's intentional. So with Erica, I feel that she's a lower, like her body is a lower level type of possessed reptilian demon kind of thing, but she's not anywhere near the level of the royals, in my opinion. That's just what I'm picking up. She's very handled and very controlled. Very, very controlled. Especially because she's so heavily connected with CIA since she was a kid, and her mom's companies and things like that. So yeah, that's my opinion. But I'm open to whatever, you know? After TPUSA goes down, will the true battle start with the alien agendas? Also, Charlie just wanted me to point out just randomly, I think this has something to do with it, with the answer. Charlie wanted me to point out that in the United Healthcare schmooting, that the same exact thing with carving in the shells of the bullets happened. So you know that that was pulled off by the same group and network here. That's what he wanted to make distinction with, and correlation and connection. The second is the true battle with the alien disclosure and agenda comes, I got a King of Cups. A King of Cups. It's not going to be connected to TPUSA. It's almost like there's going to be something else that completely diverts all of the attention away from TPUSA dying and like being dismembered and like dissolving and just like going hush hush, going night night. There is something that's going to be connected to a King of Cups energy. Wait, what does this have to do with? Okay, it's like a medical lab or scientific lab. There is going to be something, a big, huge scandal with a father-son duo and a connection to corrupt military officials, something like that coming down the pipeline. That's when you'll know. But truly, I think the aliens are in charge of the agenda. Truly. I think they let the humans think that they're somehow in charge. Well, the human hybrids and the leaps, I guess you would say, the reptilian hybrids, you know, things like that. There are some good reptilians, and reptilians actually have amazing healing abilities if they were to turn on their heart chakra. But they have this cold-blooded ability, like actual reptilians, to turn off their heart chakra and kind of be like cold, heartless. But I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, the no caffeine. Started to feel it. The reason why I stopped was because I was just thinking, I just had seen, let me see if I can pull this up, a true reptilian photo that was not AI when put into an artificial intelligence checker for imagery. Let's see if I can find it. It's kind of wild. I love things like that. Yeah, this is it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this guy lived amongst regular people, apparently, and they were told that he had some type of skin condition. But this is actually a draconian reptilian. Let's see. That looks real to me. So yeah, just a fun find. What y'all think about that one? Wow, that explains so much of my younger years. I always wore black. I liked it. It looked good on me. But I would walk into a room and hear everyone's thoughts, and I thought I was crazy. Join the club, Patricia. I wonder what would happen if everyone walked into the courtroom and wore the same like color structure, white collar. I wonder what would happen. It would be fascinating, wouldn't it? Put more of your QQQs. Oh, thank you, Brittany. Yes. This is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. But you know, if you know my story and you follow me, you know that this is kind of like child's play compared to what I've been dealing with in the past year or so with corruption. I've had my own corruption, and with my car, and there was a staged wreck. I spent $850 on a private investigator just to get me what should otherwise be publicly accessible accident reports from the police from the wreck, because I was not there. I should be able to get the body cam footage to prove that I wasn't the driver, right? When they got the statement from the person that was hit. Well, my ex-boyfriend told me he only hit one car. He actually hit two in the quote unquote private investigator accident report signed by the DPD, allegedly. And I paid $850 for an accident report that should have been like, I should have been able to request it for $8.99 online. And I also should have been able to request the body cam footage. They would not release it to the private investigator. We asked numerous times. And they put on the report, unknown driver. So in the accident report, there was apparently another car that was also hit in front that left the scene, didn't want to fill out an accident report. And they assumed that that person fled because they had like paraphernalia in their car or something like that. So it was all very suspicious. And it looked like they were trying to frame me for something bigger. And in fact, my psychic abilities, I kept dreaming like I was driving that car, like I was in the last moments of that car. And I kept like driving really, really fast, looking up, slamming on my brakes, and running into a child. So the story that they told me about him slamming on the brakes and totaling the car, I'm not entirely sure that's true. And I think that possibly my car was used for, like I said, child transport, because these children in my dream state keep coming to me. So if I can offer any help to you guys, it's trust the downloads unfiltered that you're getting, and God will find a way to connect the dots. Don't go searching for it. Don't lose valuable energy and, obsession. Put yourself first. That's the silent protest. Go at your own pace and heal what you need to heal. But to trust the dream visions you get, write them down, feelings, downloads. It doesn't have to make sense. It always will later on, I promise. And God, like I feel that the Matrix and the dark forces, they try to force synchronicity through like dates and numbers, and when, you know, movie release dates, it's all carefully curated and selected. But God works through other light beings and through happen chance. You know, what you would call happy coincidences, a God wink, but they're not really coincidences at all. It's a predestined date, right? For destiny. So, for instance, right before all this went down, a week before, I noticed that a client, a brand new client named Destiny, scheduled and registered and sent a booking request at 10:22 a.m., which is very significant to me, and my birthday and my purpose. And when you see your birthday constantly showing up in synchronicities, when you look at the clock or when you check out and you get your final total, that means that you're either needing to work on your soul's purpose and get going, or you already are on your soul's path, your mission, your destiny. So pay attention when you see those numbers. Pay attention to what you're thinking of when you stumble upon that number. Don't try to force it with the ego. Don't try and like search for it everywhere. Let it come to you. Let it fall in your lap. It's that much more exciting when it does. Did Jake have on a brown shirt when he was with CK? I'm getting a no. Hello, Lena Lou. Thanks for coming and sharing this time with us. I can't believe Ben admitted. Oh, we already read that. Yeah, we already did that. Let's see. Antifreeze. It's possible. Let's see if I missed anything. Today is Magdalene feast day. Oh, okay. That also reminds me, just because it kind of sounds like Madeleine McCann, allegedly. So I think Julia Vandell is one of the experiments or clones connected to Madeleine McCann. And I definitely believe that she was memory wiped. I definitely believe everything she's saying is true. And I don't know, something about her just resonates. I find her to be so remarkable, and what she's lived through, and to still be as sharp and wanting to just get to the bottom of her identity and truth. I feel like we can all get behind that, you know. You can tell she has a loving energy, and she shouldn't have had been. I don't believe she should have been put into jail. I don't believe that she should have had a restraining order. She couldn't hurt a fly. And in fact, that's part of the same exact playbook they used with me. I just learned from her experience and wised up and was just like, cut off everybody. I was like, all right, y'all want to play that game? Shoot, I'm just going to go into the psychic realm and get what the answers I need. And that's how it really, I really trusted myself implicitly. My mic is getting really hot right now. It's like kind of hurting. It's crazy. I don't know, maybe I should take it off. Maybe I'm imagining that, like, because Charlie's like showing me what happened. I don't know, but yeah, that was a little scary. So yeah, I think that Madeleine McCann is still alive. I think she's been repurposed. I think there's a few other me's of her. I would say in particular, I'm picking up 3 right off the bat. So this is where we get into kind of tricky territory with like who's what. And soul fragments and clones. And that's why it's so important to show love to everybody and to give space for everybody's story. I think that's what really true disclosure, full disclosure will be, is that life is stranger than fiction. And it's going to be all given to us, hidden in plain sight. You have to look at things with a spiritual eye. Oh, here's this name again. Who is telling Jack Posobiec, Benny Johnson, and Brandon Tatum to tell everyone there is high definition 4K footage of the crime against Charlie that was played in court? Wait, okay, let me read through that again. Ben Shapiro. That's what I got. Hi, Steve. And it looks like Ben Shapiro is being a little bit of like a bully, like on the recess playground. That's the vibe I'm getting right now. Also, thank you for sharing your information on this. I really enjoyed it. Oh, thanks, Light of Truth. Oh, thank you, Diana. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share. It really helps me. And if you want to book a reading, it helps support the channel as well. QQQ, are any of the podcasters who lied once out from propagating about Taylor Robinson? No, they all think they're protected. They're all waiting for their payout. That's sad, right? I can't imagine. I just can't imagine selling my soul for money. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just of a different elk or something. But yeah, I know my manifestation powers. Like, I don't know. That's blood money to me. Not worth it. Some people just want 15 minutes of fame, even if it's not a good look. The crazier your message, the more I believe. Oh, thanks, Wendy. You gotta look at things with a spiritual eye, man. Hi, Sarah. Thanks. Any other questions? I'm so mad that 7 minutes went, because there was some good stuff in there. I'm trying to like circle back and remember what I was talking about. Elon, he's kind of like from the Book of Enoch. All right, I may have to take this mic off. It's giving me weird, strange feelings and vibes. Let me try it in the middle. I don't like it. I don't like whatever. There's just some weird pulses that just started coming out of nowhere, and my jaw is like locking up. Also, I feel like does anybody drink this water? I've been drinking this water for like 10 years. It started to taste different. I'm sure it's been sold, the owner. It tastes a little different to me lately. You got to always keep a pulse because people flip. They change it. You got to be adaptable, flexible. It's kind of like when Nestle bought a lot of the pure formula, medical grade formula. So you got to watch for whenever the big corporations come and buy out the goat, the grassroots goat companies that everyone loves that are healthy. How do you see with Yut? I don't know what you mean. You know what I think? Randomly, I just got, I think that we're going to hear from Charlie's mother pretty soon, which will be kind of a shock. She will not be speaking up for Erica. Well, hallelujah. And it's because she will have a very distinct dream of her son. She will want to say something and not go silent. Expect this in about 3 weeks, getting the number 3. How do you see with your spirit eye? So I would say, well, everyone's going to be different. So it takes really knowing yourself and what you're naturally gifted at, but you can harness and work on all of the clairs. For me, personally, it's kind of like when I go to the grocery store and I just have this really uncanny ability to pick out a high vibrational item without even looking at the ingredients. Like, because I can energy scan and energy read products on a shelf. It will be more backlit and illuminated to me. I can see the higher frequency of that item, so much so that like I just trust it. I'm like, oh, okay, I need that. Today I was like, all right, we need to get a mushroom alternative coffee. And I just like stood back, scanned, and was like, which one? Because there were like thousands of them. I was like, oh, I'm not going to look at all the ingredients in the back of them. So I was like, picked one out, looked at it. I was like, all right, that's good. Threw it in my. So it makes it easier. So you're not sifting through. It's kind of like how I was also on ancestry.com. Like I had this crazy intuitive ability to know which PDF to click on. And I would find some juicy articles, you know, from ancestors and things like that. So some people might maybe hear music playing with items they you know, or feel actually pulled in that direction towards that item. Or when I'm scanning people and their aura, both like as clients or like on the TV. I think I've said this before, like when they're lying, I can't focus on them. Suddenly I get ADD and I can't see or visualize what they're explaining or describing. When people are authentic and telling the truth, it's a movie that plays in my mind. I can instantly visualize it. I know who they're talking about. I can see the person that they're referencing. I can see what they were wearing. It just flows effortlessly and with authenticity, and it has a frequency that's higher vibrational and it's more illuminated. So some people may be more visual. Some people might just have a clairsentient, like knowing, like a lightning bolt. Like suddenly they perk up and they can focus and they don't know why. Sometimes with me as well. Have you ever like talked to someone and you can't stand their voice? You don't know why. It's just a frequency. Your voice box is a unique frequency. And for me, like I can tell when people have pain and anger when they have a really nasalized, it's like nails on a chalkboard, like really nasalized, like, yeah. And when people get close to my ears are super sensitive. And when they have those nasalized, I can't do it. I have to back away. So yeah, I would say that's how you would look. I hope that helps. KMSED. QQQ, are any of the people who were in the car feeling guilty about what happened to Charlie? Yes. Which ones? not Frank Turek, not Brian Harple, the last person, or, well, there was 5, right? Was this the driver? I forget. It's like the person who was sitting in the captain's seat that Charlie wasn't in. Does that make sense? Not the driver, but the person in the passenger captain's seat, I think, is what I'm getting. I forget who was in the car. I apologize. Oh, and then I heard Charlie just say, they're sorry that they got caught in their lies. Not sorry that they did it. Something like that. Ben Shapiro assisted with Brian Harple lawsuit against Candace Owens. All judges rescued from taking the case. Does Ben has any hand in it? Yes, I'm also getting the number 10. I'm not even going to try and assume what that's referring to. This could be 10 intentions of why, or 10 hands, so to speak. Also, something about, does Ben Shapiro have a daughter? Something about his daughter, he's bound to something, and because of his daughter, he continues to be bound to this agenda, something like that. Also, Charlie Kirk is kind of telling me to elaborate on, with readers and people that you feel you resonate with, they're going to feel healthy. They're going to feel like they have spiritual hygiene. It's not going to feel like forced. You're going to naturally feel a pull, a resonance. You're not going to feel icky. You're not going to question yourself. It will support everything in self-empowerment, self-confidence, and destiny. So you want to be really mindful, because just like there's bad people in high places and also good people, there are good readers, good healers, but also the opposite that just want to take your money. And especially in the reader space, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many people have gotten scammed out of so much money. Healers will charge thousands of dollars to clear chakras, and you can do that yourself. You can do that yourself. And in fact, when I first started out, this was the second time I almost got struck by lightning. I had someone else clear out my chakras, and she did them too quickly in my root chakra. And I kid you not, lightning, I jumped probably like 5 feet out of my furniture chair. I was outside by my pool, and it was so close to hitting me. I mean, I had sciatica ever since. And I had to slowly go to other healers to build back my chakra system, because I had some type of witch healer that was like trying to get energy harvest out of my root chakra. And I didn't realize that until I found my psychic teacher. And she was like, Jessica, do not let anyone ever heal your chakras. They're very, very powerful. And I see that your root chakra is like, boom. It was like someone wanted to release this lightning from it. And I was like, that's exactly what happened. Like, I almost got hit by lightning. She was like, yeah, you got to work. So that's what got me into Reiki healing, because you have to be very discerning about spiritual work. And my rule of thumb is the person that I'm going to has to look healthy, and it's the same thing with news anchors and people that are speaking truth. They're going to have a more illuminated aura. They're going to have a healthier aura. They're going to look like they have spiritual hygiene. Brian Harple doesn't look like he has spiritual hygiene to me. Frank Turek, definitely not. Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Candace Owens does look like she has spiritual hygiene to me. I don't necessarily always agree with everything she says, but I think that she absolutely is onto something. I think she absolutely is going to have a great awakening, second great awakening in front of a spiritual awakening in front of us. And I think Charlie was destined on her path. This is part of her purpose, you know? Just went on a tangent, sorry. I hate nasal voices too. It's nails on a chalkboard. I don't know. There's just something about voices, like I can tell. Like, I can just tell. I can tell if I'm meant to be listening to them. Great question, legendary. QQQ. Is there anyone at all who feels guilty about Charlie? Well, immediately I'm getting a Pisces male energy that's really young, maybe at TPUSA, that was like a little shadow, a mini me, someone that really looked up to him. He wishes he would have recognized all the nefarious plans. He was kind of like bright-eyed, naive, bushy-tailed kind of thing. But he really looked up. It was like a big brother to him. That's what I'm picking up immediately. Is anyone feeling guilty about Charlie? I'm getting it's more like TPUSA, like journalists, like back end people that are like, you know, the nuts and bolts, like the people we don't see, but like the unspoken heroes kind of thing behind, like the intern type of people or entry level, like straight out, like the really brilliant minds that run TPUSA, not the faces, like the new, fresh students that are just out of school. That's what I'm getting. Wishing they could do something. They could have done something. That's what I'm picking up. In fact, I'm actually seeing in my mind's eye some type of like band forming, a group forming. Yeah, 250 for my chakra clean. Yeah, like I wouldn't recommend it unless you really trust the healer. You know, you want to get to know the energies of your chakras and like you let it spin at its own pace, your unique pace. There's like, you know, there's benefits in it, but you just have to really trust the process and the protocol and the spiritual teachings and modalities in which that healer works through. I just with my experience, I personally like to give people the tools and the empowerment to do it themselves. I don't ever want someone to be reliant or addicted to me or have to come back and pay over and over, because it's like a car wash. You're going to get a car wash, but unless you understand the full transformation and the pivot needed spiritually, you're going to fall right back into the same loop and have to pay again. So what I like to do is give the tools to do it on your own. You know, you teach a man to fish and they eat the rest of their lives, kind of thing. I was new in energy. Any other questions for me? Yeah, so I think Madeline McCann, I never know what to say it. I think that Julia Vandell they silenced her because she would have uncovered a huge ring of cloning and selling, trading amongst the reptilian bloodlines that are in the elite circles. That's what I got spiritually. What's up with the Daily Mail article painting EK as a winch? Was there thought through by her prior to issuing the article? There was no thought through. Surprise, surprise. This kind of was giving me like a vibe of what I channeled a couple weeks back. Like there was a female that was going to sell a story or an article as a threat to get paid because like Erica's doing something dirty to her friends that are keeping her secrets hidden. And this was like the first little like nudge of intimidation, like, hey, you better get in line. And the next thing that it will be more defaming of her character if she doesn't pay up, something like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you operate like this, you can't like do your friends dirty. And it looks like she's making enemies very, very quickly, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to switch to the pop art deck. Let's see what we get with that one. What has the guy Erica was having an affair with showing up to the hearing? Ooh, great question. Or making any media appearances? I'm seeing a microphone and I'm seeing watching from podcaster desk and a microphone. I don't see any public appearances other than a podcaster mic type of situation from the comfort of his environment where he feels safe. That's what I'm getting. Now, I was picking up that she was having an affair with two people. I don't think she's ever been fully faithful to any relationship she's ever had, if I'm honest. Not even her husband. Will CK's kids be okay after all this is over? I'm feeling the daughter, yes, Gigi. Look, oh, tears. But there will be quite a coming of age story with her. Will she break away from her mother when she gets old enough? Yes. Boss lady. I love that. Wow, the article was a bit wild. Let me see. Let me look this up. The Daily Wire. I don't know which article. They all look like they're kind of pro Erica to me. It says, put the title in there for me. I'm assuming winch is not a good term. I'm trying to think of what else. I didn't make notes today on what I was channeling. The magnet for sure is something extremely important about and intentional as to why they made him wear his mic inside out. And there was a question, like they kept asking, like, was there a moment where Charlie finally knew? And I think it was the moment when he was first putting on the mic. Like, oh, and he just went on through it with it. Oh yes, Jonbenet. So with Jonbenet, the feeling that I get is that she is still alive and repurposed in some way, but heavily mind controlled. So that just like Julia Vendel, how she was kind of like programmed to believe that she was someone else and programmed with a different language, and then suddenly was really good with English and things like that. I pick up on Jonbenet the same. However, she was repurposed in more of a political aspect. So she's hidden somewhere, but she also has several clones or hybrid clones, I shall say, that are also mixed with reptilian energy and blood. This might be used more in a celebrity capacity, because I do know she has a very creative DNA. Has the ability to create. So this is what I think, is that people that are highly creative, highly psionic, and can see visually, and are extremely psychic, they tend to be hybrids and have a huge value on them, on their head, in their QSIP, Social Security value number. And the Royals, you know, put that value almost like a brand on you. The BlackRock stock trading is basically trading your Social Security number, your values. So what I pick up with Jonbenet is that she had that ability. She was very charismatic, also very creative in every avenue she tried. This is why she was heavily sought after in the Schmepstein transport. Sorry. I forget the word interchanges. So I think that she was transported, and under the Epstein files and transport and eugenics program, there were many, many clones made of her, sold and bought, and almost like it's like a trading. It's like for the highest bidder kind of thing. It's trading DNA, just like the off-worlders do with DNA experimentation in Antarctica, DNA splicing. So yeah, I think the original Jonbenet was horribly trafficked and essayed and abused. That's what I pick up immediately. And then somewhere along the line, the original was memory wiped. They harvest her eggs. They harvested her teeth to make clones, children, that kind of thing. That's what I'm picking up. Maybe 5 or 6 reptilian hybrids. I do feel some are faulty though, so they all didn't make it. I heard they have some on ice as well. I asked who is responsible for selling her. Her father. It looks like he's a Freemason. Allegedly, this is all allegedly. I asked, was the wife in on it, her mother? And I got, yes, a passive aggressive partner. Quickly changing emotions. I just remember as a kid that this was always in the news headlines kind of around the same time as O.J. Simpson. So I don't know much about the Jonbenet case, but it seems like it was all staged. And whatever was found as evidence was like placed there and kind of led to it led to a dead end on purpose. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So QQQ, is EK a clone or is she Jonbenet? Oh, I'm not saying that Erica Kirk is Jonbenet. Yeah, no, I don't think Erica Kirk is Jonbenet at all. They don't have the same energy to me. Sorry, making that distinction. I'm just we're kind of weaving in and out of different cases, but they're all intertwined in my opinion. They're all connected to the same one pyramid. Einstein. I'm gonna say, I forget one chat person last week said Eggstein. I need to keep saying that. Eggstein. That's a great nickname for him. QQ, yeah. Why is TPUSA digging their grave by saying so much? They want to cause division. It's not that they're baiting us. You got to know whenever the narcissist is baiting you. You know, we are all victims of narcissistic news media. So like that is the game of a narcissist. They want to get you into their mental spar because you're like, how can you say that? No, that's not true. And then you spend all this energy digging up the facts to combat it when they already know that there's nothing you can do to convince the trance otherwise, the spell casting to be otherwise, because they have the false narrative backing. They're part of the same cult. It's just the people with authentic, genuine souls and a good heart think everyone operates like them, right? I have lost so many years of my life expecting others to think and speak truth like myself. And I just stopped throwing pearls at a pig. You can't argue with stupid. You can't throw pearls at a pig. They're going to smell it, sniff it just like corn anyway. You save your energy for the people that see you, where you don't have to explain yourself. That's in my experience. Save yourself a lot of the heartache and the headache. Did Jonbenet suffer throughout her life? Yeah, a lot. I feel like she just so badly just wanted to be loved. Very kind soul. Got lured into things very easily. Almost like earth angel energy. Now, also, there is a Madeline McCann clone hybrid that is also very close to the White House correspondence. That's what I just heard. And in fact, she has the same whatever. It's not astigmatism. It's like the same eye deformation or anomaly that Julia Vandell has in the same eye. Did Blake Neff have a hand or a role in CK offering? Oh my God, the answer is so funny. He's not smart enough to pull any of that off. He is just the enforcer, narrative enforcer. And you got, okay, someone asked earlier, spiritual eye, how do you know? They all use the same terms. Like, I saw 2 posts back to back. They use the same terms, levity, and they all use, it's Mockingbird News. They all use the same exact, there's always this like one term. And it's almost like they're intentionally following a program of advertising like MK Ultra. They always use the same, there's going to be the same term. And in fact, if you want to use Gematria and decode headlines from the Daily Wire, from that Erica post, from the Daily Wire article where they claimed she was a winch, if you go and you put in the title and plug it into Gematria, it'll always tell you the true coding of why they are putting out that article, what that symbolism, what that article is really signifying. That's how you have to see with a spiritual eye what's really going on. Nothing on the surface is as it seems. You have to read between the lines, gematria-wise, but also the pictures accompanying. What I know, I just look at if there's an image, a photograph that accompanies the article, I'm going to the photograph immediately first. It's going to tell me everything you need to know, because they have to show you what they're doing to absolve themselves of the karma, apparently. No, I don't think he had a role in it, but I think he's just as guilty for knowing what happened and continuing on the narrative of a poor widow. He's just, yeah. He's not the brightest crayon in the box. I just heard him say, you can put glitter on a turd and it's still a turd. So funny. All right, any more questions? If not, we're gonna end this live stream. Yeah, definitely. Court jester for sure. Court jester at a Mardi Gras ball for cannibals. But TPUSA and the whole thing is coming down very, very sad-like, very quickly as well, imploding. Someone's going to be coming out of their shell more and shooting themselves in the foot, or like exposing more than they bargained for, I just heard. And they're going to be celebrating as if they had a big win, but they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. This might be the hierarchy scapegoating someone to take the fall for all the stupid lies if people don't believe it. So someone's going to have to take the fall. Will this be Blake Neff? No, won't be Blake Neff. He seems very protected by Ben Shapiro, in my opinion, for some reason. I don't know if they're friends, but they both seem like, let me tell you this. If I was in the same like third grade classes them. I would tell you I wouldn't be able to stand them because they seem like brown nosers to me. So the second the teacher turns their back, they're like doing all the little aggravating things. But a teacher's pet to her face. Was Blake into CK Mini? Says Blake. No. Yeah. Suffering behind the scenes. Love, heartbreak. That's funny. I've yet to hear that one. Oh, thanks, Patricia. I appreciate you too for hearing me ramble, or lack thereof sometimes when my mic's out. Shooting myself in the foot with a champagne cork, how appropriate. Yeah. I see Blake and Ben in the same scenario as Clay Shaw and David Ferry. Don't know who those people are, but let's see what my guides say about that. Yeah, it's almost kind of like they go back to the drawing board and they're like, how can we spin this? Like they have this magical little pen and it never works out. And it's like, have you not learned your lesson yet? But they definitely have an allegiance of some sort. And they think because of like the mafia behind them or the crowd of support that they're kind of untouchable, but yeah, it's imploding. It is imploding. So in terms of the magnet and the real reason that energy was manipulated, the biofield was manipulated, all this stuff, the sun, and the testing the limits of Charlie's neck abilities and energy abilities all tracks back to time travel, in my opinion. And magnets also probably can affect time, the elements of time or variables of time, if you really think about it. So I believe that JFK is connected to time travel. In fact, you know what a great series is that seems the most true to form with JFK's time travel is the James Franco series. I think it's on Hulu. Maybe it's on Prime. Maybe it's on Netflix. But it's about time traveling in a diner and time traveling back to JFK's assassination. So check it out. It's really good. Is the child transport tied to the aliens? Do they use them for energy too? No, I think they use them for breeding and DNA splicing experimentation trading. I think that the reptilian overlords and the criminal overlords for ritual abuse and stuff like that it's like I'm almost getting like they're like self-proclaimed butchers. So they're utilizing all the different cuts of meat was the reference I got. As horrible as it is, I'm so sorry. Trigger warning. Love the James Franco one, 11/22/63. I think, Oh, that's the name of it? Yeah, okay. That's might be why I can't remember the title of it. What does Candace's husband know or think of everything? Well, I think that's the reason he comes to me, is because I've had a similar kind of like waking up in the Truman Show that I was in, especially in a relationship, and like overnight abandoned and having to like just like see it for what it really was, and connect all the dots instantaneously. It was, truth be told, it was God kind of kept the veil, because I was a working psychic medium. I was really tapped into like, I've been a conspiracy theorist since, seeing beyond the veil since like before it was cool. Like when people were like, I don't want to know about that. Like they would just be like, ugh, why would you want to look into dark things like that, or like believe that the world is like that? I did that before it was like the cool thing to do. But I didn't realize I was studying for my own life. For it, it was like literally I was studying for it sitting on my couch and in the city that I was, living in. So in the spirit realm, like attracts like, and that's what I feel. I really struggled with how I couldn't have seen that I trusted the good in people, that they would have had my best interests at heart. And but the good thing about me is that I can instantly let someone go and cut someone off the second they show their true colors. I'm a true free spirit in that regard, that when God tells me this person isn't for you, I listen, like instantly. Like I don't try to hold it onto it. I don't try and fit a square peg, round hole. I felt that God was placing me there for a reason, because I held on for way too long, and I normally don't do that. But for some reason, something told me to. Something that told me to. And I gave I realized I was the last pit stop on everyone's karmic wheel. I was the last, hey, this is your last judgment call, last get out of jail free card. And I don't know. But when it was all revealed to me, the truth, I listened, and it saved my life. So I feel really strongly that that's the reason why Charlie comes to me regularly, and like why he's choosing me to specifically give very specific details, I guess. But we shared the same feeling of like, how could I have been so stupid? I definitely felt that he felt, how did I not see the honey trap? It was my blind spot. And why didn't I put together all my premonitions and the connections with the little hats, and me saying no to the deal? And I kept going along and telling myself, no, it's going to be fine. We're just going to rise like we always do. We're going to figure it out, So I think we share that in common. Legendary focus. Kennedy, King, and Kirk all schmilled. I don't know if it means anything significant, but interesting that they all have K surnames. Absolutely. I definitely think they're connected. Let's see. How are they connected? For prosperity, all done for the prosperity ring, we'll call it. But also I do feel that they're all connected to time travel. And it was always to cause division, two groups, which is the programming of the blue and the red cars. So Jonbenet and Madeline didn't die, or did they? And they just took their DNA to close. I think they're still alive. The original ones, both of them, are still alive. Although the original ones don't necessarily know that they are Jonbenet and Madeline, that they've been kind of wiped memories clean and kind of given a whole nother persona. But I do feel both of them have recurring dreams, flooding of their true consciousness, and they just don't speak about it that much. I think that Julia Vandell is the closest we've kind of scraped the surface with what's done, like how she recovered her memories. And I think we're seeing a clone of her, of Madeleine McCann. And I believe everything that Julia Vandell says. Like her memories, I do think whatever memories she's recovering, I think they're real. However, I do think that she has been part of a program with cloning and splicing. That's my thoughts. It's a random psychic medium's thoughts. I said Candace's husband. Oh, sorry. Okay. And I think you understood. I asked for Charlie. Does it mean Charlie feels he is Candace's husband? Let's see. Feels what about Candace's husband? Let me see. Arkita. What does Candace's husband know or think of everything? Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, so this is very interesting. What I'm getting is very supportive, kind of staying neutral, being supportive of the action being taken by his wife. And I got concealing true self from partner in reverse. So meaning nothing is cloaked. I do feel that he has an exceptional sense of disapprovement with hierarchy systems. Like he's very smart and sees through them. So maybe he's the brain behind working around the lawsuits and verbiage against high players, high stakes is what I'm hearing. I do feel he thinks that there's lack of progress with the ping pong match, though. I think he does, and rightfully so. She knew him. She was deeply intertwined in his life. So they bait her into emotional fact-checking. And I think he sees that and kind of is like, probably the one that bounces the scales for her, grounds her. Like, no, let's not get into that rodeo. That's not going to serve us energetically. Let's pick our battles, stick with the big fish, kind of thing. I agree. This universe only put people in my path when my kind of help is what they need. Samesies. And I'm always giving them the benefit of the doubt. But more and more as I grow older, I'm seeing the game. Yeah, I just put in the game there. But yes. Yeah, and when it's the right decision, when you cut off someone and you're like, all right, well, we got to cut this loose. We got to cut the fat. This person's dragging me down energetically and frequency-wise. Immediately, you will have some type of graduation or glow up or something that you've been trying to crack through the ceiling with job, career, personal life, just any progression, movement forward, you will instantly find that happen once you let that person go. And you let them be who they truly are. You don't try and spin them in a better light, because it's hard to believe that someone does, and has ill will towards you. Sucks. I was one of those ones, like, I thought when your mom told you people are jealous that they were just, that's what a mom does. Like, I didn't think people actually operated in jealousy. I was like, what? All right, guys. Well, we are almost 2 hours in. So thank you for joining me. I hope that we got somewhere today. I love you guys, and I appreciate the support. And I'm going to try and hop on here tomorrow as well. Love and light.